What's going on, everyone? I am the YuGiOh Scrub, but please just call me Bailey. And what is this? You said there were not XYZ monsters in GOAT format? Well, I'm here to prove you wrong. We are going to be playing some XYZ Dragon Cannon today. The first and best XYZ and the only XYZ monster I recognize as an American citizen. I don't know if that's a good joke, but I'm going to put it in there, whatever. Regardless, doesn't matter. What art is best for XYZ Dragon Cannon? It is this one, or this one. Go 1, 2, 3. Comment down below, 1, 2, or 3 again. 1, 2, 3. I personally would say maybe 3 or 2, but let me know. I mean, I think they're all pretty cool. I'm also going to do something. I'm not going to explain the deck. We are going to go, save the changes I made. But we're going to go right away and actually just go into the duel. Only because I've noticed in the analytics that you all typically watch the duels more. When I see the most length watched segments, it's my duels, not the deck profile and explanation. And makes sense. I mean, these cards have been out for a very long time. I think you all know what Shining Angel does. I don't think I need to explain it too much, but I will do it at the end. So if you all want to stay and watch at the end, I'm going to start doing it. I think that's the better way to go, just because I'm looking at what you guys want to actually see, and I don't want to waste your time. I will quickly show it off in the beginning, just so if you want to click on the video, look at the deck, take it from me, and then go play with it, you're more than welcome to do that, but I don't think that I should continue doing something if it doesn't seem to be working for the length time of people watching in analytics. Start with Pot of Greed. Draw Luminous Spark and Decoichi. So I'll still talk about what the deck can do here, and I actually think it might be better because as I play, I can talk about what the deck is. So basically, it's Machine Beatdown with XYZs, or the different Union X, Y, and Z. I'm going to start, I think, just with... Because I have Heavy, I'm not going to go Luminous Spark yet. I'll go Blade Knight, make them think I'm playing, like, Warrior. And just attack. You could argue I should have set Decoichi. He's going to ring. I'm fine with that. And... do I set the Heavy? No, I'm honestly just going to end here. It's kind of like just turn 1 all over again, except I'm up 1 card. Because he is at 6. I'm drawing into 7. I could have set 1 limiter removal, but he does have like an MST. Well, then I show him kind of what I'm playing. And I don't think that's the way to go. Just set the Decoichi. Kind of another good turn 1 play. Again, if he noblemans it, I'm not worried because I can Dimension Fusion back. That's basically how this deck is intended to work. I'll take an Upstart Goblin that pays for my Dimension Fusion halfway. But you can banish the different pieces, X, Y, and Z, making them pretty beefy with Luminous Spark just as beaters. And then when you bring them back, you can go into the different fusions, or you can just, again, attack for game with big beaters. He has Breaker. I will just draw a card with the Decoichi. Drawing into DD Warrior Lady. So, Warrior Lady is in here because we haven't seen it yet, but Shining Angel, under Luminous Spark, is a 1900 beater, also can float into the different Z and Y, not X. X head cannon's the 1800 normal. Breaker of my own here, though. I think I just go Exiled Force and Prio pop it. Then I will... do I set the... I'm going to set Heavy Storm. Because I have 7 cards. I can't... I'd have to discard something. So I'm going to set Heavy. I hope he doesn't have MST. He has 1 set, so hopefully this now makes him set 1 more, and I can actually get a good Heavy off. That's obviously the goal. He has Thunder Dragon, putting the Light Engrave if he's been waiting for it. Getting some discard fodder. Haven't seen Regeki Break or anything, but Thunder Dragon means he could be running Phoenix Wing or Regeki Break. pretty proactive spell traps. Well, both of those are traps, but graceful now. Okay, Thunder Dragon graceful, also good. I mean, if he doesn't have MST, I guess he could have a heavy of his own, in which case, I mean, I'm trading heavies and I get basically a +1. Discarding a Serpent in Thunder Dragon, yes. I still feel okay here. Pot of Greed, okay. I mean, if he has Duo, he has Duo. I mean, I've Trinity people in the first turn, or in the same turn. It always feels nice. When it happens against you, though, not so much. Set one more, please. I mean, you have to. There we go. Okay. Draw Freed the Brave Warrior. So that's one of the ways I run to banish my light monsters that get sent to grave. Standby, main. Let's go ahead and activate heavy. It's a Book of Moon and 2 Book of Moons. Okay. I'm just going to normal summon Warrior Lady. Again, I want him thinking I'm basically just playing warriors right now. Let's go ahead and attack the Magician of Faith. I'm definitely not going to use the effect here. He's going to get back graceful. I think, actually, so if I had Luminous Spark and 2 machines, but even just 1, so that would go to 2,000 times 2. So I could go to 8,000. Okay, I'm actually going to keep both limiters in hand because I could literally make XYZ Dragonhead an 8,000 attacker. And if he doesn't have a way to deal with that, that put me in a very advantageous position. I mean, I think it's safe to say if you can land an attack with an 8,000 attack monster, you're in a pretty advantageous position. I think it would be very funny that it would be Z, or I should say not Z, Y Dragonhead. Probably, I mean, X-Head Cannon's pretty sick, but Y Dragonhead, of the 2 unions, definitely the better one. I mean, he just looks so much cooler. He's like the attacker. He has a Chaos Sork and just banishes the Warrior Lady. Not too bad, because I can get it back with a Defusion, potentially. Into a Kaiku. So 18 and 23. Wait, never mind, not 23. He used. He banished with the effect, so I don't lose 23. I'm going ahead of myself. I also cannot type, so I just lost 23, gained 200, gained 2,100. I can do math, just can't type. If I draw, like, Graceful or something, draw Dekoichi. I will just set the Dekoichi and end the turn. He probably won't want to overextend. I can get another +1. He might have to overextend only because his hand is so big, so we'll actually have to put a card somewhere. He knows I don't have heavy, so... Uses the Graceful that he got back from the Magician of Faith. Discarding Thunder Dragon, Serpent. If I manage to win this game, you have to like and subscribe, because I've gotten everything but Duo'd. I've gotten Graceful twice. Pot of Greed, well, I feel like it was twice, though I think it was just once. Correct me if I'm wrong. I may have already forgotten that he got it back, but I think he's only activated 1 Magician of Faith. Yeah. So, nothing but lights in the grave, though. No darks. Summon Sook. Flip Kaiku. It's Dekoichi. I will draw a card. Y Dragon Head, 1800, 1100. And at end phase, unless he sets a spell trap, he will have to discard for turn. I still am in Dimension Fusion range. He sets a spell trap, and Tsukiyomi will go back to hand. He will not have to discard such 2 spell traps. He knows I don't have heavy, so... No lights in grave. That's why Freed the Brave Warrior just ain't great all the time. Draw Z Metal Tank. So this is a problem. I'm just drawing all my monsters. If I go to 8,000 attack, that would be 6,200. He is unfortunately just strong enough that I think I just have to summon Y Dragon Head. See if he does anything. Activate Luminous Spark. He's probably just like, what am I playing against now? Go to battle phase and attack over the Kaiku. Hopefully he doesn't have a spell trap. He has Mirror Force. Okay. To grave that goes. And I just have to admit defeat there. I have nothing I can do. Shout out to the drink of the day, ice water. Yeah, put in 3 Kaiku. If I can fit them, definitely take out 1 Dekoichi. I like the Shining Angel. Take out, no, Freed can be kind of good here. And Soul of Purity and Light. That's the other way we can banish our light monsters, because that becomes 25. And we can get over a Chaos Sork. Take out, no, MST can still be good. Take out 1 limiter. And Terraforming. Lightning Vortex, it's also okay. I'll put that in over 1 Rhoda. And I think we're safe with that. I'll go first. I mean, I'm trying my best, but this deck is more fun than it is competitive. I mean, we all know XYZs are better than anything in GOAT format. I think I'm just going to set a Dekoichi and end. Don't want to set heavy, because if he breakered, that's bad. He has Sangan. I just draw 1 and keep my monster. That's all I could ask for. Graceful Charity is a good card. Let's go ahead and activate it. X-Head Cannon, Exiled Force, MST. Definitely discarding Y Dragon Head and X-Head Cannon. Basically, their best places in the grave. I mean, beaters are okay, but banishing them is better. I think the play is Summon Breaker. Torrential Tribute's the biggest punish here. It's Book of Moon. He sets the breaker. I will just set MST and end my turn. Don't want to attack over the Sangan. It can't get over either monster. He might not attack because he could think this is a better spell trap. Kaiku can probably get over anything, or Exiled Force can definitely get over anything he puts on the field. He just puts the Sangan in defense, sets 1, ends the turn. I draw Luminous Spark. No darks, though. Well, I think the play is flip Summon Breaker. Put this to attack, and then do I think I summon Kaiku, and then attack, and banish the 2 with Kaiku. So let's do that. Go to Koichi over Sangan. Didn't see Spy or anything, so I don't think this could be that. Get Serpent from the deck, attack Breaker into the face down, which could be like a Faith, which it was. Just gets back a Book of Moon. That's why I wasn't afraid, because even if it was a Faith, it's not like he's had a Pot of Greed or Heavy or anything good. And I think I'll just end the turn there. And, oh wait, banish. If he calls me out on it. And end turn. I was like, I didn't do anything else. If I started activating cards, I was like, oh shit, I forgot the Kaiku. But no, I'm like, right after battle phase, 5 seconds? I think I'm safe with that. That's right, Kaiku has an effect, not just a lingering effect. Now I'm going to feel silly if he Dimension Fusions. You could argue I shouldn't have, because I have my own Dimension Fusion. And maybe just them in the grave, but I also think that ultimately keeping him off his own Chaos Monsters is better. Kaiku technically does, but I know he has a Book of Moon, like... Discarding a Serpent, and what else after the Graceful Charity? I have the most board presence I possibly could have, and the Book of Moon, so he might have another, but I also knew that he had 1. Setting 1, and probably setting 1 Spell Trap. Setting 2. I will discard, or MST I hit the Mirror Force, okay. This guy's pretty decently rated, especially for his experience, so... I like to sometimes hit the second one they set. I don't know, it depends. You have to feel your opponent out. Oh, Pot of Greed. He is Graceful Live Pot. Draw Shining Angel and Ring of Destruction, because that could be TT. I'm just going to attack with the Kaiku. Or not Kaiku, Dekoichi. It was a Faith, getting back. Graceful Charity. Attacking with Breaker the Magical Warrior. And because I think I'm going to attack with Kaiku. This could be a Sakuretsu. It's a Book of Moon. Okay. I'm fine with that. That's honestly better for me. I was like, if it's a... I was thinking of not attacking because I didn't want to run into Sakuretsu armor, but I really wanted to be able to banish the Serpent. I should have assumed it was something that dealt with it. Now that I know, I think I'm going to summon the Shining Angel. Or set the Shining Angel, and I'll set Ring of Destruction in case he has a Chaos Monster. Or just really, he's probably going to have something to get over the Kaiku. You have to kind of have a way after the Book of Moon to deal with the Kaiku. Discarding a Thunder Dragon. Probably drew that for turn. Thins his deck by 2. Getting some decent hand fodder. Tribute monster. I mean, the ability for Thunder Dragon to be used as a tribute monster, like after a snatch steal of something important, can be nice. Sometimes being able to put a 1600 beater and have someone on a 5-turn clock is okay. But usually, I'm going to Ring of Destruction my Breaker. I know that sounds really stupid, but now if he has Tsukiyomi, he has to set my Dekoichi. He has a Kaiku of his own. And he's probably going to run over, my Kaiku. Dimension Fusion. Sets 1. Draw a Shining Angel again. I think I just activate Heavy. It was a Torrential Tribute. Flip Summon Shining Angel, activate Luminous Spark. Hit over the Kaiku for 100. Attack for 14. And attack for 19. I think this is game. Yeah, it is. Okay. So we're tied 1-1. I like seeing that. I'm going to actually put in Decrees. But if I'm going to do that, I want to put in Terraforming. What do I want to take out if I do that, though? Kaiku can... He can't get over Kaiku. Actually can with the Luminous Spark. I'm going to put in 2 Decrees. Terraforming is... Or Lightning Vortex is kind of nice. It's going to take out 1 Z Metal Tank, frankly. Yeah. Just... I know it's the purpose of the deck, but they're the worst cards, and I actually want to try to win a match here. And of course, I take 1 out and I draw the 1 copy I have in my deck with 2 X-Head Cannons and no limiters. Okay. Normally I shuffle, but it's 3. Shining Angel, of course. I'll discard an X-Head Cannon. Only because the Z Metal Tank, in theory, could kind of be more useful in the hand. If I can keep an X-Head Cannon on the field for a turn, then I could summon Z Metal Tank and maybe make a fusion. If that's a Faith, I mean, I'm just have to run into it. I'm not going to let him do any Tsukiyomi me or anything, but if it's a Faith, it's definitely a Faith. Yep. So he gets Duo back. I mean, he's 100% going to hit the Blackluster Soldier out of my hand. I mean, this is just GOAT format. It's going to be like a 2/6. Get the Dekoichi out of my hand. He probably knows I have a Chaos Monster of some sort, because why else would I keep anything? And he has the Magician to run over. Best draw would be like D-Fusion right now. D-Fusion without a back row would win the game. It's Kaiku. I will banish Dekoichi and banish X-Head Cannon for a BLS in defense mode. Prio, banish the monster. He would have torrentialed there, probably. I'll summon Kaiku and attack. He eats 18, and I just end my turn. He is. Oh, I could have banished the Faith, but didn't banish the Faith. I ended my turn too fast. Also, again, do I want to? Because now, if I summon back things with Diffusion, he actually is the bigger monster. I suppose if I do it in main phase 1, which I would have to, I can then banish it with BLS, but then BLS can't attack. Because that now could be the torrential tribute, I'm just going to attack with the Kaiku. And I'll banish the Magician of Faith. He sets one monster. Metamorphosis is it. It's a Faith. He's absolutely going to be taking the BLS. And attacking for 1,200. Surely. I draw Decree. I'll set the Decree and just end my turn. So am I going to get punished? Actually, no, as I freed the Brave Warrior as a draw. I'll take 3,000, though. I need to... Okay, Pot of Greed is the start. XYZ Cannon, Breaker. I think I summon Breaker, get a token, use it, get over the BLS, or take out the BLS because I have Decree, I'm not worried, and just end my turn there. Next turn I can Soul of Purity and Light and put the bigger monster on field and force him to have some sort of out to like flip 1,000 Eyes and get something off of it. So of course is just going to take my Breaker and attack for 1,600. So now he's actually gotten the life point lead back after I took it early. Draw my second Decree. Okay, well, definitely going to banish the BLS and Z-Metal Tank for Soul of Purity and Light. He has to read it. I mean, I would too. If you don't know, it's basically a Chaos monster, but you only banish 2 lights. And during your opponent's battle phase, all their monsters lose 300 attack. I'm going to Royal Decree when he torrential tributes. Because that just tells me he doesn't have a great way out of it. I'm probably never going to attack. Unless he was afraid of my spell trap and now he just can get over it. If I can get like a Kaiku, that would be the next best thing. Because if I can like back this up, I can probably create a stall situation where he can't banish things. Because I feel like one of his best ways out right now would just be obviously a Chaos monster and he banish, and pretty easily just gets out of it. Because he banishes my Soul of Purity and Light, starts poking for 16 again with the 1,000 Eyes Restrict. He doesn't have a dark monster though, so it could be the situation that he has the Chaos monster, he has a Heavy Storm, still no, okay, so actually that's what he was going to do. I was like, what's that for? But he just easily takes my Soul of Purity and Light now with the 1,000 Eyes Restrict and pokes me for 2,000. Leaving me at 100. It's never... I mean, Luminous Spark. So, XYZ Cannon. Use the Luminous Spark, summon XYZ Cannon. Set Royal Decree. Can't, not going to attack, can't attack. This is 23, so it's bigger than his 2000 now. I still have a couple of dead draws because of the defusion. Delinquent Duo's dead. Premature Burial is dead. Setting my XZ cannon. I think the play would have been probably setting the Thousand Eyes Restrict and then taking my XZ cannon, but hey, you can do what you want to do. He could be, I guess, afraid of return, and maybe what I have to do with this deck I've thought about is taking out the defusions and putting in like 1 or 2 returns. Maybe that's the play, and it probably is. Because, I mean, return would never be dead. I could use it even now. He's just going to attack over XZ cannon. I mean, Kaiku is not the out. But I can set it. And I know he has Tsukiyomi. But Tsukiyomi now, he could just take the Thousand Eyes Restrict. Okay. He is a nobleman for it. And yeah, he is game. Alright, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Unfortunately, we did not get the win. But I think that was to be expected with the first ever XYZ deck. You know, they hadn't gotten the mechanic quite down yet. It was this weird fusion thing. I think once they figured out that, like, union monsters just stacked on top of each other, that was really when they figured out XYZs were exceptionally good. But, you know, let me know what you think of the first ever XYZs. Unfortunately, we didn't get to summon it either. Maybe another day we will play it. But I think you got to see what the deck can do. Let's go ahead and go talk about the deck, because I almost forgot. I'm doing that after now. So let's go back to this view and talk about it. So I've built a certain way. Obviously, we start with the 3X head cannon. It's the heart and soul of the deck. It is a vanilla machine. I mean, it's 1800 light. Not the greatest in Monster, but you have to run it. Again, followed 2 Y and Z metal tanks. They're only 1500, and the Union is not that great of an effect, so we don't really want to run them at more than 2. Although you need to run them, I think, at least at 2, just because it facilitates the actual engine you're trying to do. Again, 2 Luminous Spark and 1 Terraforming for that kind of engine to make them all beaters. You have to do something to make these monsters formidable. And I think the best thing you can do is just raise their attack by 500, because 1900, or I'm sorry, 2000 and 2300, as you even kind of saw in that last game, they can sit there, and they're up there with Chaos Sorcerer, and maybe not the Monarchs, but they're not bad. Shining Angel being at 1900 from the Luminous Spark and being able to get the Y and Z metal tank is very good. Also, DD Warrior Lady from Shining Angel is nice. Blade Knight, Exiled Force, and Freed as the other warrior options. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit my favorite boy Zalug in this deck. Although, if you wanted to try to fit it, maybe take out 1 Dekoichi, but probably not. I think that maybe 1 limiter removal. I think Zalug, maybe the side deck, but unfortunately, I couldn't put him in. Back to the deck. Soul of Purity and Light, because it's another way to banish monsters, and it's a 2500 that does get over Monarch, so you kind of have to run it at 1 as that way to get over the 2400 limit in the format. 2 Dimension Fusions, again, maybe change this to a return. I think it could be better, maybe 1 return in the Torrential Tribute, because I do lack a lot of removal in my traps in this deck. 3 Dekoichi. This is your flip monster, it helps you cycle through your deck, and if it gets Nobleman, well, Defusion, bringing back 3 Dekoichi, followed by 1 Jinzo, but the limiter removals, all these machines you run with the XYZ, the Dekoichi, and the Jinzo get doubled. I almost had an 8k wide Dragon Head. I mean, that would have been sick. Limiter removal, when it goes off, can be an incredibly powerful card. Of course, your Trinity, Pot of Greed, lets you draw 2 cards. Graceful Charity and Delinquent Duo. Snatch Steal, Premature, you can fit them in this deck and it's good. Heavy Storm and Mystical Space Typhoon, you want removal. 1 BLS because you do have some lights and darks, and banishing cards you want for Dimension Fusion. The Breaker, again, just great. Fantastic card. Pop 1 Spell Trap. 2 Rhoda, 1 Mirror Force, 1 Ring of Destruction. Our side deck, 2 does Wombat. 3 Kaiku because that Chaos matchup is pretty bad. Book of Moon, Lightning Vortex, 2 Noblemen, Decrees, Soul Purity and Light, Sasuke, and Zambira. I'll say I threw these in last minute. I don't really know. There's definitely 3 better cards. But thank you all for watching. This was XYZ Dragon Cannon, the first XYZs, the best XYZs, and goodbye.